Burn live, burn live. Marijuana keeping y'all connected. Hashtagging these red eyes, changing the viewers' eye red, keeping underage, smoking off social media, killing ourselves for your entertainment. Sitting here with friends and family, and you out there starting a cannabis station. I appreciate people coming, stopping through. Sorry for the first part. I was having all type of technical difficulties, having all types of technical difficulties. So I appreciate people stopping through today. We stopped through. Good morning, good evening. How you feel? You see this? Whenever you're getting this, I appreciate you coming. Like I said earlier, you see in the title, I really got some things to really discuss and talk about. I am going to try to take my time and discuss. I got my pen and paper out to take notes with you guys. I got my weed because this is a marijuana podcast channel. Well, this is a marijuana podcast streaming politician cannabis channel. We all of that. We all of that. We doing all of that over here. Okay. I hope the quality is good for you. This is good for me. I worked real hard at trying to fix everything before things get any worse, which I hope it's not. Let me get into this story. We're going to get into the Malibu case. Once again, if you came through and you didn't see it, I'm going to replay it again because this is very important information that this is being told. It's 28 minutes of it. We will be stopping here and there and breaking it down. So I won't be getting hit and none of that crazy weird stuff that they be trying to hit me with. This is a discussion. This is to get the information out to everybody. In the marijuana world that smoke weed. I do have Maui friends. I do got Aloha friends. I do got Hawaiian friends. And that's another reason why it was important that I go live and I get this stream out to you guys as soon as possible.
There's just so much information that I have to share with you that you're not going to find on mainstream media. Before we begin, I'm not sure how long I'll be allowed to be on here to keep bringing you the truth. So please follow me on entirety. Children of Maui.
I don't know.
Yes, you do. How many children are missing? You know.
I knew the answer to that. I'd be happy to answer that.
You have no estimate as to how many children are missing?
I guess we can end this right now if you guys want.
Sorry. Yet again, kids are missing. They don't want to tell you how many kids are missing because they do know, they have an estimate. Everybody that's missing, from what I was told, everybody that's missing has made a report, has listed people that are missing. So you know how many people are missing.
This is one of the biggest questions that the people of Lahaina have. It
always takes one or two to ruin it for everything. That's what happens.
Well, we could say that about you. You ruined it for everyone.
You're welcome to say it. You're the media. You can say whatever you want.
You're a disaster.
All right. Okay. Please.
You've been the worst mayor we could possibly imagine.
You won't even wait.
Respect what? This is the most dismal response we've ever had.
You won't wait for your turn. You want to shout over these guys that are legitimate.
Why don't you give them the real answers then? Give them the real answers.
That's not his question.
Let him.
Yeah. You can go. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Where are the missing kids' parents? Why haven't we been hearing from them asking about their children?
We have no idea if any of them are children, correct?
We
have no idea.
Sir, we don't know who you are, and you don't identify yourself.
That's independent journalist Nick Sorter. His social media says he flew in from Louisville 2 days ago.
You have the body. You know how many of them are children. How many children are dead? How many children are dead, man?
After some near physical altercations, Bisson apologized to the crowd for the interruption. And before he left, he said there would be, quote, no reason for him not to report the accurate account of who was found at the Lahaina disaster scene, and that he is not.
There are so many allegations, people. There are so many different things that are out there. I wasn't able to share this out to everybody. I'm still trying to share this out to everybody. I do know. Please share this out to somebody that you do know. So many different allegations. Where do we start? Where do we begin? Where does it end? It's craziness. But we starting off with the most sensitive thing I think
Not
it
trying to
is.
keep
It's
anything
kids.
from the public.
Let's see what the governor of Hawaii, Josh Green, has to say.
More than 1,000 are unaccounted for, about 1,050. It will take several weeks still. Some of the challenges are going to be extraordinary. As you reported, 85% of the land of the impact zone has been covered now by what amounts to an army of search and rescue teams and 41 dogs. So at 85% of the land's been covered. Now we go into the larger buildings, which require peeling back some of the floors and structures. That last 15% could take weeks. We do have extreme concerns that because of the temperature of the fire, the remains of those who have died, in some cases, may be impossible to recover meaningfully. So there are going to be people that are lost forever.
Josh Green has all the numbers, but nothing regarding the numbers or information on the missing kids.
We have 111 people that we've lost, and 45% now of the territory has been covered. There are now 41 rescue dogs and 270 personnel from Red Cross working this incredible challenge.
Notice, like I said in the beginning, the numbers is all over the place. It's crazy. Not only is it all over the place, but people in America seeking help. I reported yesterday only $700 was actually given to I think each family home. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Plus search and rescue 195 people. We're ramping up every day. We're at 494 people from FEMA. We're constantly on with Washington and the White House talking about our crisis, but now we've got 950 people in hotel rooms. 414 hotel rooms are filling for those people, and 500 people housed by Airbnb. The recovery's ongoing. If you need support, come here. And tomorrow night, I will give a statewide address to share the bigger picture. Aloha.
Scott Adams tweeted, obviously families have reported who is missing. That means authorities know the numbers, the names, and the ages of the dead. There's a reason they're not telling you what they know.
Are you driving way less than you used to? Do you have a clean driving record? Are you over 25? Do you not have a DUI?
Just weeks before the fire, Green...
Take a second to think about it, ladies and gentlemen. If they don't let you know the total, you're not gonna send no money. I'm thinking I know this sounds harsh, I know. But if you don't know the death total of kids, you're not gonna send the money. You're not gonna send the donations. That money pile is not gonna grow. You're not gonna feel the sympathy that you should feel for this fire, who they claim is a fire. I still don't believe it's a fire. I'm just putting it out there. I don't believe it's a fire because fires only burn at a certain degree. And metal was burned. Don't forget, y'all, metal was burned. Cars were burnt to the metal where the metal frame was. Just saying. That doesn't add up. It also doesn't add up that you can't tell me how many kids are missing. Why? Because, like I'm saying, and think about it. You know, you're going to send the money. I know I'm sending money, kids. That means a mother had to bury a kid. But it gets deeper than that.
Unveiled an emergency proclamation on housing, getting rid of the Land Use Commission red tape. This means the government can build how they'd like to, meaning 15-minute smart cities.
And remember the governor of Hawaii, who just happened to be off the island at the time of this? Well, just 1 month ago, he signed an executive order saying that the land can be taken away from the people if they need to rezone due to an emergency. So in January of this year, the Department of Hawaiian Homelands proposed a $75 million housing project on 51 acres in Lahaina. This was the area that was destroyed. This fits perfectly with the whole narrative from the World Economic Forum's plan for 15-minute cities. Because
15-minute cities. You can't, I know if you're watching this, whenever you're watching this, you probably cannot soak in your head 15-minute cities. Gather up 15 minutes. What do they mean by 15-minute cities? Yeah, I know. Something for you to think about, something for you to digest. It doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? I understand that Hawaii is a big tourist retirement attraction, and you just got rid of a city that has heritage. That's like one of those you're gonna be cursed for the rest of your lives type stuff. Like, I'm not moving that.
Because it's wiping clear all this land that they've been trying to get for decades. Now they could put up these 15-minute cities, that those historic buildings have burnt to the ground. So now, just like what the governor put through in this executive order, they can be rezoned and won't be considered historical anymore. So now they can build on it.
A senior citizen of Lahaina is not having this. Here's what she had to say.
My office will not allow it. I have brought to the board the request that we return to the federal court, which is where we were 21 years ago, 22 years, and no corrective measures taken. You can do whatever you want, bring all your pala. You will not build on Mauna Kea. The die was cast, mark my words. You will not build on Mauna Kea. We have said it for 50 years.
The questions surrounding the fire in Maui are endless. For what we're being told is a natural wildfire, there is nothing natural about it. No FEMA response, that's not natural. No comment from the president in the White House.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, real quick before we go on, because I'm not stopping this, but this is what I found. I found a couple of reports. This from 5 months ago, one from 7 months ago. So look, I'm gonna come back to this. This is what I be talking about. I'm gonna get a little bit more exclusive, a little bit more into details of things that are going on. So let me stop this real quick. This, I'm gonna bring up 15-minute cities, so we can get an understanding of what these 15-minute cities are. This was 5 months ago. I like
the reason
this
I
one.
put Legion on a license plate Lamborghini.
I like this
because
one
the
the best.
fastest way that I
like
found
this one
is
the best right here.
Why has town planning become 2023's hottest conspiracy?
Hold on, let's go to
Why
the
has town
beginning.
planning become 2023's hottest conspiracy? The 15-minute city idea is really simple. It is an urban planning concept which calls for neighborhoods to be designed so that everything you need in your daily life is no more than 15 minutes walk away. It is meant to discourage car use and encourage using local public transport and local businesses. But that is not how protesters see it.
This is the start of our freedoms being taken away.
Following on from conspiracy movements built during COVID lockdowns, many people are accusing the concept as being
deeply illiberal, un-British,
international socialist concept.
You will only have 15 minutes of freedom.
These movements claim that the aim of governments pushing 15-minute cities is to keep people confined to their homes, only allowed to leave a number of times a year. In February, thousands of protesters and conspiracy theorists gathered in central Oxford to protest plans to restrict traffic as part of the city's own 15-minute plan.
People are going to be totally controlled by the elite.
There are legitimate concerns about 15-minute cities, such as how they might displace less rich residents or how they might localize traffic in certain areas. But that is different than seeing it as an example of tyranny.
That explains nothing. We need to find out what is a 15-minute city. This was 7 months ago.
What is a 15-minute city and why are conspiracy theorists jumping on it? You may have seen this, a vision of what the future of the world's big cities might look like, but some on TikTok aren't happy.
You won't be able to do that.
Spoiler.
Notice this was all in the UK. All in UK.
First came the lizard rulers, then 5G shredded our DNA. Now conspiracy theorists are homing in on town planning.
You in your area will only be allowed within that 15-minute zone that you've been allocated.
There's going to be a stipulation in this policy that says, look.
Okay. So, yet again, you get the drift of it. 15-minute city is everything around you in a 15-minute walk. They're not trying to have you go that far. They're not trying to have you do too much. Okay, cool. So now that we got that, I just want everybody to understand real quick, real fast, with a little diagram of what's a 15-minute city. Okay, so now we got that understanding what's a 15-minute city. That makes an understandable reason of why they're turn down these homes in Maui trying to make a 15-minute city. See what I'm saying? Now we can constructually understand and see like, okay, this is what's going on. This is why they're having a 15-minute city. Okay. All right. Let's see what else we can learn.
Donations unused and not allowed, rings of fire, a significantly higher death toll than what's being reported, and fires only on native land. All not natural. We are in the beginning stages of the biggest collective awakening in the history of mankind. A book chronicling the events in Maui, Hawaii was published on Amazon on August 10th before the events had even concluded. How's that possible? Fire and Fury, the story of the 2023 Maui fire book. How did a climate change book get published about the Maui?
This right here, let's please let me go back. This is what people need to look up for real, and see is this book that was published before this happened is really talking about the fire and go into definition of this fire and exclusive and stuff like that. Does it have an outcome? That's crazy. That's crazy. Let me zone this in for you one good time. Wow. Look at that. Y'all see that? That is the book that was out before the fire. Come on, man. People's not watching my show. I understand. Y'all not going to get this exclusive. Everybody's not going to talk about this. Come on, man. This is a marijuana channel. I'm just trying to keep it smoking and informational, bro. Let's keep it going. That's what we finna learn up in here.
2023 Maui fire book. How did a climate change book get published about the Maui fires while the fires were still burning? So no emergency sirens, police blocking the open access road, ordering people not to evacuate, no mainstream media coverage, complete mismanagement by the state and federal agencies, and offering any surviving families $700 per household. And the only time they've ever shut the water off was that day. That's right. While they were trying to extinguish the fires, and perhaps they would have, the water was turned off.
We were fighting. We felt like we were winning. We were keeping it at bay, keeping it off of the properties. The water shut off. Even the firemen that were patrolling couldn't refill their trucks. The fire just grew. The sparks started blowing over, and it just beat us.
Did you know that you could get $50,000 to over $150,000 of investment capital at 0%
in the end?
This is a highly prime example. Let me go back to this scene right here. When I say this is why people in America don't believe in the government, don't think that it works. This is how the government shows itself of being part of some conspiracy theory, just about the money. It's all about the money, just trying to make a profit, trying to please a billionaire somewhere or a trillionaire somewhere. This is what American people see every day And this is why people go on every day and not care about nothing. That's why people not into politics, not into who they're gonna vote for until it pops up like who's up, who is this person? I don't even know this person. And you find out in 8 months, 9 months who this person is, okay, cool, boom, I'll vote for him. I mean, you don't care. And then when this happens to us, then we care. We want answers. We don't like this person. And then it's the whole government.
The fire just grew. The sparks started blowing over, and it just beat us in the end.
Okay, so where was the help? Where were the local and federal fire departments, and where was the military? Schofield Barracks is the largest military base in Hawaii and is operated by the Army. Originally designed to serve as a mobile defense for Pearl Harbor and all of Oahu, today it's home to over 36,000 troops and is a testing facility for chemical, biological weapon defense. Wait, you're telling us that there are 36,000 troops near Maui who specialize in protecting the U.S. against chemical and biological weapon attacks, but they were not called in or able to protect the residents of Maui from a fire? And that's only one of the Hawaiian military bases. There are actually 14 of them in total. In fact, there's also the largest Marine base on Oahu, and we're supposed to believe that they couldn't put out a fire, but they can protect us against foreign enemies.
We have the largest Marine base in the world, the largest Navy fleet right there. We can see the island. They could have been here in 12 hours.
I think that if he wanted to, the President of the United States or one of his chiefs of staff could have ordered military assistance from Pearl Harbor and the U.S. Pacific Fleet.
There's no question they could have done that. They did it for Ukraine way quicker than the response here in Hawaii.
Are you interested in starting your own faceless YouTube automation channel, but all people do is tell you to go to Fiverr and
Ironically, only 3 days ago, there was another fire, this time in Honolulu on the island of Oahu. And guess what? It was contained in only 13 hours with the help of the Honolulu Fire Department, the Federal Fire Department, and the U.S. Army, who provided 2 air assets and 1 brush truck. All the help was there when they needed it. So why over in Lahaina, Maui, were people subjected to being trapped and helpless when they could have been provided with immediate support and rescue? Another unanswered question is about the Wi-Fi.
So this is the only Wi-Fi truck in all of the Napili Shopping Center. The 3rd biggest hub on the west side, now that Lahaina is gone. The most people here, and this is the Wi-Fi. Why do they not want you to communicate with the rest of the world on the west side of Maui right now? The governor was here yesterday. Why would he not set up infrastructure so that everybody here could be communicating with everybody not here? The people on Oahu don't even know what's happening right now in full scale and detail. Ask questions. Ask questions. Demand answers.
One person solving the Wi-Fi communication issue is Elon Musk, who in previous videos we've seen donating Starlink so that Hawaiians are able to use uninterrupted internet. Musk replied to a post which showed Hawaiian official Kaleo Manuel shutting down access to water in Maui as the fire was destroying the island.
Proof and evidence that the government has something to do with this. Proof. Like now, I'm with anybody that's like, hey, the government needs to pay fully for every bit of whoever they find, not find, whatever anybody suggests that should happen to the government, whoever is in charge of this on Joe Biden's watch should go down, should be charged. Yes,
Elon asked, doesn't that make him in large part responsible for the deaths? Great question. My question for Kaleo in Maui as the fire was destroying the island. Elon asked, doesn't that make him in large part responsible for the deaths? Great question. My question for Kaleo Manuel is, do you know what just so happens to put out fire? Water. Water puts out fire. We also heard Hawaii emergency officials last week saying they did not activate the sirens because people would have freaked out. So instead, they thought it was just better to let them burn. The emergency alert system is not supposed to go down in an actual emergency. If they didn't want to actually use those emergency sirens, how about using the intercom system that's integrated with the sirens then? Oh, and what about the false missile alert warning 5 years ago?
And this morning, Hawaiian officials say they're determined to make sure that the false alarm that sent the entire state into panic never happens again.
Yeah, for 38 minutes yesterday, people feared that there was a missile flying through the air and about to hit Hawaii, and it's because of this alert. Ballistic missile threat inbound to Hawaii. Seek immediate shelter. This is not a drill. Now, this is a warning that was sent to people's phones. They showed up on their TVs. They played on the radio stations across the state.
State officials say all of this panic was caused by someone hitting the wrong button. And a federal investigation is now going to begin to figure out how one incident could cause this many problems.
You heard what they said, right? Television and text capabilities. So get this, their own government-produced video shows television and text capabilities, so why didn't they use those?
Emergency alert. So in the state of Hawaii, we have a statewide alert and warning system, which we also call SAWS.
Yet again, this is why I want to play this video, because it's just like proof after proof after proof after what you need to let you know that Hawaii had everything that they need to do what they wanted to do. This was just not no ordinary burn. I remember when people was coming to a couple of co-workers and they was explaining to them, hey, did you check out this fire? Hey, did you check out this fire? You know what I'm saying? The first day the day that it happened, everybody was, oh, did you check out the fire? Oh, check out the fire. It's been passed, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, did you hear about this? Did you hear about that? Did you hear about this? People like, no. So, you know, nobody knows the extent of what's going on over there in Maui. Wow. Because I talk about it here at my job, just hinting at it to different people. And I'm like, man, go check out my channel, Burn Live. You know what I'm saying? I talked about it. I showed videos. I got proof and evidence of what's going on, just in case people, you know what I'm saying, they don't know what's going on. But the fact of the matter is, this stuff is not on no type of news platform. Everybody is talking about what? The debate. Trump getting locked up. This is, I mean, you might hear a small segment. A small segment. That's crazy. This is, I'm honestly to say this is, I can't believe this is way deeper than I could ever imagine. And it's all over real estate and 15-minute cities. Okay. That's hard to digest. That's hard for the American people to digest. It's hard to sit here and smoke a blunt with you guys and be like, you know what, man, they burnt a whole portion of an island for a smart 15-minute smart city. Cities. Because you better build more than one, obviously, from what I'm hearing. That's okay.
That involves not only the siren warning system, but as well as IPAWS. IPAWS is the Integrated Public Alerts and Warning System provided by FEMA. And that has the emergency alert system, also known as EAS. It also has the wireless emergency alerts, which is known as WIA.
Here's one thing you need to do before buying anything online. Don't spend another dime on Amazon until you watch this.
All right, so the Hawaiian missile attack was an accident, and the fall guy who took responsibility for it quit. Now with the Maui fire, we know who the fall guy is, and he also quit.
Oh my God. And when he bring it up, people in Nevada, and this is why I shout it out to certain people in Nevada about this. So I'm gonna have to probably make a real short of this stuff right here.
Tell me, what are the odds of two emergency managers whose sole job is to manage emergencies properly, both making grave mistakes and resigning? If that's not crazy enough, there's land grabbing theories, refusing donations, higher death tolls than what's being reported, elite homes unharmed, and of course, the missing children. Then there's this.
This is Maui.
Look at the millionaires and billionaires' beachfront properties untouched. This was a massacre, an act of terrorism to clear away the ordinary people of Maui inland. Absolutely just that we're not trying to find out who these people are.
Folks, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Let's go deeper. They blocked traffic exits. They actually blocked people from retreating and told them to go back into the fire and to not panic. The Maui police chief ordered cops to block cars from
Police chief, ladies and gentlemen. This police chief is just not no ordinary police chief. I did not look into the conspiracy theory of October 1st out here in Nevada. That was the first year, 2017. That's the first year I moved out here in Nevada.
being able to flee from the fire. As a result, men, women, and children were sadly forced to run for their lives as the firenadoes surrounded them.
Daytime. This is nighttime. There.
Bro, that is not from no fire. That is not from no forest fire, no electric fire.
Oh.
That it?
Oh my God, I just turned it to night. Oh my God. Oh, why did I come here?
Somebody got to pay for this, bro. This is crazy. I can't believe like this is really going down, and it's really a part of this. Please hit that subscribe button. Please hit. I don't know if you should hit the like button because I don't know if you're gonna like this information, but please share this out to somebody that you know so we can spread the news about this. This is crazy. I'm live streaming it. I will make another short to try to make a video of it. This is hard to digest, to understand, to know that, man, somebody was behind this. This is deeper. Yeah, somebody was behind this. This is not the ordinary fire. That man literally tried to say daylight and dark was right in front of our faces. You couldn't even see it. Nobody's saying this. Nobody's saying this, man. I mean, come on, y'all.
Oh.
A policeman from Iowa also chimed in and shared what he thinks about all this.
What the fuck are we doing in Maui? Like, seriously. Biden hasn't even went there yet. You'll give all this money and time and effort and resources to Ukraine, but you won't even do it to fellow Americans? Like, come on. Like, did we forget Hawaii's part of America? I mean, these people need help more than anybody. They're stuck on an island. Their governor's more worried about rebuilding Hawaii, but we still have 1,000 people missing. And you got an emergency management coordinator who Monday through Friday for however long the last several years, assumingly, he sat there and twiddled his thumbs thinking, what am I going to do today? What am I going to do today? Your sole job is preparing and planning for disasters, okay? Why don't you be on the offense instead of the defense? If there were to be a massive fire, how could we prevent that? What steps could we take? I don't know. Let's cut down some dead trees or tree limbs around the utility areas. I don't know. Maybe we can make the utility companies put flame retardant material so that this doesn't happen. Maybe we could not issue permits to homes to be built up in the mountains so that they're stuck there and surrounded by trees and they have no way to get out safely. Maybe when we're in a drought or there's high winds, we can make the utility companies put up fire watchers up there so if something does happen like it did, we can put it out. I don't know. I'm a nobody. Just a thought. That's with zero experience. Didn't need a bachelor's degree or a master's degree for that. But the one thing he could have done is he could have put on sirens, but he didn't want to do that.
Zoom may be great for meetings, but you need a platform that's actually designed for podcasters, and that's Riverside. Creating a podcast.
He didn't want to do that because he thought that the people would run into the fire. Are you a dipshit? If I'm in the ocean and somebody screams shark, I'm not going to swim farther out into the ocean. I'm going to go to the shore. These people could have seen the smoke, seen the fire, and ran the opposite way. This is why people hate the government. They're giving our tax money away to the wrong people, and they're not providing safety and security. And I can say that because I work for the government. Granted, I'm like down here, like the bottom, okay, compared to like up there. But still, come on. How come every time there's a disaster somewhere in America, the emergency management coordinator resigns? You know why? Because he didn't do his job. Did not plan. Did not prepare. Every time. Show me one disaster we've had where somebody was like, that emergency management coordinator went above and beyond.
All right, this leads us to the Maui police chief, John Pelletier. This is the same guy who led the response to the deadly Las Vegas shooting in 2017. You know, the one with all the controversy and questions around it. As the police chief, this pivotal role places him responsible for ensuring the safety of not only 165,000 Maui residents, but also 3 million tourists.
I'm going to say this retardedly. Let me push this to the side real quick. Because this is the part where I said this made me so mad. Because like I said, y'all, I was out here in 2017 when I first moved out here. My birthday's in October. So you understand, like that's deep to know that this guy had something to do with it and was conspiracy theorist and whatever he was up to. Crazy. But I'm here to show you that, yes, this is happening. It went down like this. People need to be held accountable for. I'm going to keep saying that over and over. The more that we get into this and show facts. I really want to show y'all all of this video. I'm going to take my time today and really show y'all this video and make sure that y'all get this, because this is, I couldn't be fucking believing this. Sorry, because
to visit the island. Only 50 days after he started as police chief, he asked for a raise. Strange, right? What's even more strange is that they gave him more than he asked for. Pelletier went from a salary of $158,000 in December to $205,000 in less than 2 months. Last week, after 50 days on the job, Maui Police Chief John Pelletier asked the police commission for $195,000 a year instead of his current annual salary of $158,851, a 23% raise. However, commissioners believed he deserved more and recommended a 29% raise, which would come out to $205,000. Pelletier told police commissioners that he took a pay cut when he left Las Vegas as a police captain. Oh, okay, it makes sense now. I mean, he said he took a pay cut after, you know, the thing in Vegas. So now he'll probably quit the Maui force and go join another force and ask for another raise. Nothing to see here. Oh wait, there is. Hawaii News Now stated he was hired to improve transparency and accountability within the force. He ordered the police to reroute all of the citizens back into danger zones, refusing to let them get to safety. Sadly, many had to jump into the ocean to save their own lives.
First person, yes, I'm going to say it needs to be held accountable. Whoever gave him the command, whoever signed that check, let's start from him and build a web and go get everybody that's connected to him. They probably finna lock me up for saying some stuff like that. But man, stop playing. Stop playing with me. They're gonna stop playing with me. Cause y'all see, we see it, we heard it, we got the evidence. You what else do you need?
How's that for transparency?
People here. Maybe it's different for you because you just got here, huh? So it's not the same. It's not the same. No comment. You have to look up on photos.
No comment right now, guys.
No comment?
Yeah.
I'm talking to the chief, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand.
Why doesn't he want to speak to the people? Only to a camera.
You can use thing in here.
No, we called up. We've been looking for him. I thought he was going to do Top Story Tuesdays all over the island. He's from Coffee. Haven't seen him. Been looking for him for a couple of years.
Recordings just got better. Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard. I'm so excited to announce.
What happened? Can you explain Kono to me again, sir, and Aloha? I'd love to hear it from you. Why are you shaking your head? Why are you shaking your head, sir? You don't want to answer, huh? Okay.
We'll talk to you another time, guys.
Yeah, you won't talk to us another time. That's the thing. It's a very cowardly move. It's shocking.
Maui Police Chief John Pelletier told reporters that the fire had melted metal, making the remains extremely difficult to identify.
When we find these, our family and our friends, the remains we're finding is through a fire that melted metal. We have to do rapid DNA to identify them. Every one of these 89 are John and Jane Does. We know we got to go quick, but we got to do it right. So when we pick up the remains and they fall apart, and so when you have 200 people running through the scene yesterday, and some of you, that's what you're stepping on. I don't know how much more you want me to describe it. That's what you're stepping on. Give us a little bit of time to contain that. Please. Because we've got to go make 89 notifications. And coming from a place that had to make 58, I understand the pain this is going to take. And we're not done with 89. So just understand what this thing is, because none of us really know the size of it yet. Everybody wants a number. You want it fast or you want it right? We're going to do it right.
Rest assured, everyone, John Pelletier is going to do this right. And wait a second. He said metal melted? The average temperature of molten metal is between 2,200 to 2,500 degrees Fahrenheit.
That right there, I want to try to blow that up real quick for me, so these people can see. Blow that up. Bow. Bow, bam, 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 bow, bow, bam. Y'all need to understand that right there. This right here, compared to a fire that's electric, as trees caught on fire, it's totally different, bro. And before I even knew all of this, before I even got all of this, before this even abruptly hit me in the head, like, bye, hey man, let me hit you with some knowledge. I was like, hold on, melted metal? Electric fire? Never. I had a person kind of say, nah, man, for real, it can. I'm like, when? Can it? Like, what school did you go to? Nah, man. This right here is unusual. This right here was planned. To plan. And from information, 5 years planned. Like, I don't know, but it's amazing that the little information that I scooped up and the little bit of time that I scooped it up. I scooped up 5 years of information. 5 years of information. Quick, too. It's just like bang, boom, bow, bow, boom.
Right. While wildfire temperature is up to 1,400 degrees Fahrenheit max. That doesn't add up. Switching gears now. In the past, former President Donald Trump addressed the survivors of Texas and recently Maui as well, right away. But America has been waiting to hear from Joe Biden after his no comment statement.
President Trump traveling to storm-ravaged Texas today to offer some reassurances to the Lone Star State.
Thank you, everybody. I just want to say we love you. You are special. We're here to take care.
Touring a local emergency operations center
The world is watching, and the world is very impressed with what you're doing.
and vowing to local officials that they will have the federal support they need.
We're going to be working with Congress on helping out the state of Texas. It's going to be a costly proposition. Probably there's never been anything so expensive in our country's history.
Mr. President, thank you. Thank you.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott praised the Trump administration's response so far, saying federal officials have kept a low profile but offered vital assistance behind the scenes.
Will you come talk about the Hawaii response, Mr. President?
Nothing there.
If you make less than $50,000 per year, then this message is for you. Congress just passed a free
Biden finally headed to Maui almost 2 weeks after wildfires devastated the island. Apparently, he needed to go on a vacation at the beach first before then heading to another vacation.
You guys catch the boots out here? That's a hot ground, man.
Hello, everybody. We're going to jump ahead to the next spot, okay, guys?
Interviewed while on Air Force, Biden spokesperson Olivia Dalton says interviewed while on Air Force One, Biden spokesperson Olivia Dalton says Biden has been there since day one.
I also just want to take a step back because I think it's important to remember that the president has been there from day one, marshaling a whole of government response to this, to the wildfires, and just
Glenn Greenwald one.
I also just want to take.
You guys catch the boots out here? That's a hot ground, man.
We're catching the president. We're catching the president making a joke. Joking around about Maui, a conspiracy. Joking around. That's where I was like, hold on. I had to rewind. I'm like, am I tripping? Is he cracking a joke? Let me make sure.
He needed to go on a vacation at the beach first before then heading to another vacation.
You guys catch the boots out here? That's a hot ground, man.
Hello, everybody. We're going to jump ahead to the next spot, okay, guys?
Interviewed while on Air Force One, Biden spokesperson Olivia Dalton says Biden has been there since day one.
I also just want to take a step back because I think it's important to remember that the president has been there from day one, marshaling a whole of government response to this, to the wildfires, and just
Glenn Greenwald.
Before you go to the next one real quick, I want to make sure we have heard that correctly. And people can state that somebody said that about Joe Biden. So we heard that. It was on my podcast. So it's noted. Joe Biden has been there since day one, putting a response team together for the fire out there in Maui. I see why people can't smoke weed on this channel. Oh my God. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's keep going. We almost done, y'all.
Said George Bush was mauled for merely flying over New Orleans as citizens drowned during Katrina. Ted Cruz was mocked in a week-long news cycle for leaving Texas during its electricity crisis. Not only hasn't Biden visited Maui, but twice vacationed and has barely spoken on it. Kyle Becker tweeted, on CNN's State of Confusion, FEMA Administrator Deanne Criswell says not to worry about Biden being absent during the Maui wildfires because he was being informed about them by text message. Meanwhile, he was doing this.
Because he spent about 5 days not talking about this as many of the devastating images and numbers were coming. Do you think the Republican criticism of the president's willingness to talk about this in public or lack thereof is fair criticism?
Okay. Do he take us serious? So this is a man who take us serious, who we appreciate, that's going to war for us, who understands the American people. So we sleep on our people. They show this on live television, and it's okay with people here in America. Like, we just chilling with it. Like, it's just sit back. We just gonna be all right. Everything is gonna be all right. But if you've been watching this show, you see everything is not all right. But this man is really chilling, laying on a lawn chair, just beach chair, chilling, feet up, catching a tan, looking at the sun like I'm getting my melatonin on, just chilling. And this is like, and we're happy, we're proud, we're okay. This is 2 thumbs up. This is what we voted for. When Obama said vote for change, and we changed back into y'all policies, okay.
You know, what I can tell you is the president directed me to go to Maui to assess the damage, meet with the governor, meet with the local officials, you know, giving me the opportunity in this space to make sure that I can understand what's going on. And then I report back to the president.
Who is you? That's the first thing people gonna say. I represent the president. So that means, do that mean she's a man? So she's a transgender man? That's a man? That's a guy? That's a dude? That's a boy? That's a he, she, them, they, X, Y, Z? That's what that means? That's how we take that? That's how we supposed to digress that little 2 cents right there?
The president directed me to go to Maui to assess the damage, meet with the governor, meet with the local officials, you know, giving me the opportunity in this space to make sure that I can understand what's going on. And then
So who that, Sarah Biden? I'm Joe Biden. I need you to go as me. So you be Sarah Biden. Yeah.
report back to the president. I was in complete communication with him throughout this event.
Sadly, adding insult to injury to the good folks of Maui, Joe Biden actually forgot the name of their devastated island.
The Army helicopters help fire suppression and efforts on the Big Island because there's still some burning on the Big Island, not.
Hi. Y'all really want him back in office? Oh my God. Oh, how more humiliating. This is you. If we can see this, y'all, how many other countries can see this? You see, I'm falling over. Oh my God. How many other countries is watching this?
The one is that not the one where you see on television all the time.
Locals are insulted and they're not happy, displaying their own personal messages to the president.
There are a bunch of people out here. They've been here for hours. A bunch of them are protesting. They have their makeshift signs, cardboard signs, a lot of them saying, as we've been talking about, that he's too late. Some of them feel that he should have been here much earlier. Other signs that say actions speak louder than words. So hearing a lot from the people here, as well as Hawaiian flags.
I don't want to compare difficulties, but we have a little sense, Jill and I, what it's like to lose a home. It was difficult. I can only imagine what it's like to lose your home. America's deadliest wildfire in over a century. And Jill and I have what's left, walked Front Street, what's left of it. We've surveyed the damage from the air as well. The devastation is overwhelming. To date, 100.
You see this guy in the background with this black shirt on? I don't know if y'all can read that facial expression, but I can. That's cringing. He's cringing, not because of the sun, because of what the mumble did he just say? Huh? We gonna. You see, he started off with a smile.
You can only imagine what it's like to lose your home. America's deadliest wildfire in over a century. And Jill and I have what's left, walked Front Street, what's left of it. We've surveyed the damage from the air as well. The devastation is overwhelming. To date, 114 dead, hundreds of people unaccounted for. I remember when I got the call, my first wife and daughter, I was a young senator, and I got a call in Washington. I hadn't been sworn in yet. I wasn't old enough. And I was hiring staff in the Capitol at Teddy Kennedy's office. And I got a phone call saying from my fire department, the young first responder kind of panicked, "You got to come home. There's been an accident." I said, "What happened?" He said, "Your wife, she's dead. Come home, come home." The tractor trailer had broadsided her and killed her in a car accident along with my little daughter. And I remember all the way down from Washington home, wondering what a lot of people here are wondering. What about my two boys? How are they? They were in the car. I never got a read on that. Were they going to be all right? They were badly injured. Were they going to make it? Had they made it? Wasn't until I walked into the emergency room that I saw that they were there. The difference between knowing somebody's gone and worrying whether they're available to come back are two different things, you know, and
That's going to do it for today's video, as I have so much more information to share.
Man, that's what we voted for, bros. That's what we voted for. I'm finna take a commercial break real quick, for real, and I'll be right back. Oh, shit. I had to really take a commercial. I really had to take a commercial. Uh, man. So that video explained a lot more about Maui and things that's been going on recently that's not been brought up in the news. I know a lot of people have not heard about. I also wanted to discuss what it was. Ah, this right here. To describe this basically before it comes up. I got it. I got it. Check this out. There are people out here, true indeed, that are gonna vote for Trump. There are people out here that are, you could probably say, are true indeed obsessed with Trump. There are just truly Trump supporters. Then you got people out here that, heck, I support the facts of Trump. If things come up, if things happen, heck, it is what it is. Now, for me to say that, I'll break it down for a second. Trump got how many against him? Like I've been getting what they're called indictments. He got 4 indictments against him. And I said like 3 of them are witch hunts. He got 93 sentences against him. 100, 200 some odd years in jail he's facing now. And I tell people this, and I'm just like, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an expert. It's just like, okay, common sense of what you're getting him in Georgia because of tampering and looking for 1,170 odd votes, and you making somebody so-called made them look for or oversigning some votes, so to say, or which. Then you got the one in New York where was it the prostitution? No. It was felony charge. Yeah, the prostitution charge. And then you got the one in California. I think that's the one where it's about what is that one in California about? Sheesh. I'm not even sure. I forgot. I did know, but I forgot. It slipped my mind. And then you got the one in Florida that's about the actual indictment is the papers taken from the White House, the secret documents. And I'm like, out of all of those, including the one in California that I can't remember what it's truly about, because they let you know how much of a witch hunt it is. It's a witch hunt. And I was like, man, for real, that one in Florida is it. That's it. That's the one that if they hit them with that when they get them in court, they pull up them tapes and they show the documents and whatever documents it is, because from how I'm hearing it really depends on what type of documents they're going to expose, because they don't want to expose the two secret, top secret ones, and then they don't want to expose the ones that make them look weak. They only want to go after the ones that are nail biting. That's how I'm looking at it. Okay, so boom, you got that. If you get that case out the way, boom, you know Trump is not running for nothing. And okay, then a person like Trump supporters that, like I said earlier, that are super Trump supporters, they ain't got nobody to vote for. They got to find a new candidate. Okay? But then you got the people on the other side. You got people that, I don't like Trump. I super hate Trump. And I super just, you can't even speak his name. got people setting things on fires and stuff like that. Okay? So, gave you a nice, good scenario. Now, but this video I'm going to play for you, it's my boy, or what's his name? Ramirez. I can only say his last name. Ramirez sitting down with Bill Myers, and they had a discussion. And I didn't even know nothing about it, but the little discussion that they did have and this video that popped up, I was like, okay. Like, these people are like, we truly, there's every so type of different type of person out there, and we should be happy and proud that there's so many different types of people and ideas out here. And just like people, I heard young people say, man, you need young people to start running for president. You got a young man that's running for president. You got a young man that's running for president.
When you have
and stuff like that. And I think this is beautiful. And I'm like, okay, so, you know, because I think it's like 36. Ramirez is like 36 the last time I checked. Okay. So, this little small discussion, I was just, it amazed me. And then it made me do just a little bit more investigation. So, Ramirez sat down with Candace Owen and I guess a super. I'm gonna play a little bit of the other video too, but I wanted to play this one first to lead into the other video, so we'll get an understanding of Ramirez and why people are talking about him a lot on the Republican side and how he's making wave, and a lot of people on the Democratic side, from what I'm hearing, would rather see him than Trump. Anybody than Trump. So I just want to
the peaceful transference of power. So many countries cannot get this right.
Yes.
We were one of the few who could get it right. And one guy, your boyfriend, Donald Trump, broke this and
Come on, don't give me the
That's
boyfriend
exactly
stuff. Come on. I'm running against him in this race, okay?
I think
I'm
you're
saying
running
this-
to be his vice president.
Well, I'm glad you smoked that view out. I've already said, and I'll say it again, I'm not going to work for any administration.
So you would say no to his...
Yeah, I would say no.
You would say no to the vice presidency if Donald Trump offered it to you?
I don't do well in a number 2 role. I just don't.
To start, you're 38.
I don't do well in. I haven't been in a number 2 role in a long
38.
time. I think there's a lot of ways to change this country.
Wow.
And each person has to look in the mirror and ask themselves, how do you have the maximal impact you can? So I do it through the private sector. I've written 3 books in the last 2 years. I've started businesses. That's
you
what I would do.
only go right to the top, or
Well, to me, it's not a hierarchy. It's not about a top.
well, it
It's
is.
about
You're
where
saying
am I going to
you-
have the
you-
most impact?
You will literally not be the second most powerful person in the world.
If power were my currency and probability adjusting my power calculus, yeah, of course you would take it. But if the question is actually, how am I?
Most people have no clue that in 2023, the best way to make money on Amazon is not with
using my God-given talents to have a maximal positive impact on a country that has given me so much. Being in that vice president role wouldn't be it.
All right, guys. So we got to talk about this conversation between Bill Maher and Vivek Ramaswamy, in which Bill Maher is going to show us once again that he has a severe case of Trump derangement syndrome. And Vivek Ramaswamy is low-key going to call out Bill Maher on his Trump derangement syndrome. He's actually going to use the word derangement when describing how these people are literally obsessed with Trump and the things that Trump did in the past. They're so obsessed with Trump that we can't move forward into the future as a country. And I think this is a fascinating conversation that I want to react to. But before I react to that, I actually want to react to the first video that I played for you guys as the intro clip, which is Vivek Ramaswamy basically declaring that he doesn't want to be Trump's number 2. That if Trump was smart, going to be doing to pay, maybe he would. You don't want to settle for somebody who's okay. Does have a chance over Vivek Ramaswamy supporting Trump and not attacking Trump, and less, right? He needs to be brought down a couple levels. Okay, he's really full of himself.
hopeful that we can. I think this
Yeah,
but I
I'll
share
give you that one, bro.
Yeah, but here's what I would say is like 20 years from now, I don't think we can. I think we're in a window where we have a shot at getting this done, on actually not celebrating our diversity, but actually finding a common thread that all of us still share as Americans. I think it exists.
Can I give you some campaign advice?
Yeah.
You're such a personable guy. You're so smart, and the energy is amazing. But unless you soften on Trump,
I'm gonna stop right there. The reason why I'm gonna stop right there is for the simple fact. I've been hearing a lot of things, and I've been keeping up just a tad bit about this. And I'm not gonna lie to you. Trump came into the game direct, on point, putting people on Front Street, putting up the truth. And that's what people was like really shocked, and they was calling lies, the truth about these. And now when we play tapes and we replay them and we show you like, hey, this is what he was talking about. This, back then it was a little bit harder to find these videos and put them together. Now it's easy and so simple to put these videos together and show you that like this is what he was talking about. This is what it means. When Trump was talking about the border and stuff like that. So now you want to look at Romney and like how he's presenting himself and how he's coming along. This is something I learned early this morning is on Romney's campaign, he's done hit every platform out there. He done did, I didn't know this. I just found out, you know what I'm saying, this morning, that he's been on 60 podcasts. Top-notch podcasts that getting views. That's getting top-notch views. You know what I'm saying? I don't get no views, you know what I'm saying? And I'm about to ask him to come on here. Like, hey, man, hey, I won't smoke, but would you come on a cannabis conservative podcast that has no numbers and sit down and talk, because I'm so intrigued on how you speak and how you come to the country, and you're just doing what a lot of people wish all these other candidates will do, and they're not doing. They're still so tradition. And what I see is when Trump came into the game, he used one thing that a lot of politicians wasn't using to their advantage, and it was Twitter. Man, he was using the spit out of Twitter. Twitter this, Twitter this, Twitter. Like, you couldn't go to sleep. If you were following Trump on Twitter, you couldn't go to sleep. You couldn't. And that's the same thing that Victor Ramirez is doing, but he's doing it on a podcast. Just like Twitter. Every time you wake up, you see another Twitter feed with Trump. Every time you wake up, I see another podcast where this guy is on it and speaking and talking and shocking people. And hey, the debate is tomorrow. Oh my God. Yes. I'm off. Tomorrow is the debate. I'm hoping everything goes well and beautiful and calm tomorrow. Just want to have one beautiful off day, because it's going to be on and popping. With this election right here, I can't wait to smoke and roll up and talk about this debate. But let me get back on into this and how I just want y'all to see, if we go back and look how Trump ran his campaign on Twitter. That's how this man is running his campaign on podcasts.
At least half the country that knows that he's an obnoxious criminal, they're never going to accept you as the guy who can unite us. I can't accept you as that.
See, again, this is what I'm talking about. This is the level of Trump derangement syndrome that this guy, Bill Maher, has. This is what he's saying. I know you're not Trump, but because you embrace Trump's policies and you don't want to lock up politicians or your political opponents or people that you disagree with politically on politically motivated charges that otherwise would not be applied to other people on a certain side of political aisle, like, for example, Hillary, when it comes to her clear violation of the Espionage Act, or Joe Biden when it comes to his investigation and to his classified document scandal that we all know nothing's going to come of that, right? They're not actually going to put Biden in jail, okay? They're not actually really going to go after him.
Every time somebody say that, I like to second that. Like I said, I think he's going to go to jail once he get out of office. It's a lot easier to cope with, okay, I did it. It was me. I'm the baddest, toughest. What did he get out of office? He just spit. Joe Biden just spit the real, spit the truth. I'm the baddest motherfucker I heard. I did it. I was taking over the world. The world was in my hand. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Like, I'm just telling jokes. I'm just saying a joke. I'm just saying. FBI and CIA. I'm just saying Joe Biden did do that. That'd be funny. That'd be the most gangsterist Joe Biden. I'm telling you, they gotta put this in a movie. Action packed. Just saying. So don't get mad at me. I gotta learn how to be able to just freely crack my jokes that I be feeling like I should be able to crack and do this stuff freely. On me.
Him for that. What Bill Maher is saying here is that unless you want to lock up Trump, unless you're on board with the lock up Trump train, hey, I can't really support you. Even though we know you're a smart guy, Trump's policies were good for the country. You're too in bed with the guy, right? you don't want to lock him up. You don't want to see him in prison, and because of that, I can't get on board with it.
New Eden.
I would argue that this type of rhetoric here coming from somebody that claims to be a classical liberal that is, not on the same train as the progressives or even the mainstream Democrat Party when it comes to a lot of issues. This type of rhetoric right here is exactly why we can't unify as a country, right? We can't come together because even when you have a candidate that says, hey, I'm trying to unify the country, oh, well, you don't want to see Trump locked up, right? Therefore, we can't get on board with your campaign, or I can't get behind you because you don't want to see Trump locked up. Well, that's why we can't have unity, right? That's why we can't have unity. A part of achieving the unity that people claim that they want, but again, liberals don't really want it. A part of achieving that means that, yeah, we probably shouldn't be locking up the former president of the United States on politically motivated charges, unless we're going to be doing it to the Democrats too, right? Unless both sides of the aisle are going to face consequences for what allegedly are crimes. If you're going to hold both sides to the same standard, okay, cool. But if you're not going to hold both sides to the same standard, then if you want unity, you can't lock up the former president of the United States on politically motivated charges that would never be levied against Democrats. Lock up whole both. Hey, I can't really support you, even though we know you're
at least half the country that knows that he's an obnoxious criminal. They're never going to accept you as the guy who can unite us. I can't accept you as that.
See, again, this is what I'm talking about. This is the level of Trump derangement syndrome that this guy Bill Maher has. This is what he's saying. I know you're not Trump, but because you ambitions or your political charge a little enough, and they're not you. Again, what is Vivek Ramaswamy attacking Trump gonna do? He's not gonna do anything.
Likely to take possible way I could have lost Georgia. This is a guy who thinks he couldn't lose the state because the lines at his event. This is like me saying, I'm going to be at the MGM Grand September 16th and 17th. That's true. And I could go outside after the show and I saw the lines to see my show. And there's no way I'm not the biggest act in Las Vegas.
Bill, can I just make an observation?
Crazy.
Can I make an observation?
He's stupid and crazy.
I got to make an observation here.
You got to decouple.
Well, no, he doesn't. No, he does not. He doesn't have to decouple because what Vivek Ramaswamy is running on is not that he's Trump, is that, hey, I'm going to make America great again, America first policies. I'm going to take it to the next level. Everybody knows how the economy was, how the country was in great shape the first 3 years under Trump. Best economy we've seen in a long time. We're in the best position as a country.
Okay, I'm not gonna bore y'all with this too much because I think under my watch so far, besides the debates tomorrow, which is, I don't care what nobody said, everybody watching that shit. Everybody watching, but not everybody. Not everybody. But him debating on Candace Owens' show was pretty interesting. And I wanted to watch. See, I watched pretty nice of it because I ain't gonna lie to you. The beginning of
I love
it
Tom Cotton.
was juicy.
I don't.
Just the beginning, just the output, just bam, how it comes off is very important.
This is a collect call from
Steve.
an inmate at the Calumet County Jail.
The man served 18 years in prison until DNA.
With the Trump family, with the Trump base, and he was willing to come on and answer one of the biggest Trump influencers, Rogan O'Handley. He goes online as the moniker DC Drano. Both of them will be joining me today for a very good conversation regarding both of their perspectives and what people are thinking right now in America. So you're not going to want to miss this discussion. That's today on Candace Owens.
Okay. That's that part where I probably be getting in trouble for playing people's commercials and all that bullshit. Okay. So, before I get into this, I appreciate everybody tuning in. It's an hour and a half. Cool. Hour and a half, y'all. If you're just tuning in, the first half, I went to a long discussion about Maui's, a thing that you probably not heard. So you're going to have to wait to the end of the show to get to that, or rewind it if you can. I appreciate it if you watch it and learn something and spread the news. This right here is definitely something I wanted y'all to see. I'm going to break it down to you. It's more of a debate of what's going on, and I appreciate people really paying attention to this. I hope this doesn't bore you, but
Was kind of paying attention to Vivek. I have said 1,000 times, I felt great after speaking to you. It was a very illuminating conversation. And beyond anything else, I think that we all in the control room said that was refreshing. That was the number one adjective that was used, is that we felt that it was a very refreshing conversation, which felt like it was above board. So I want to congratulate you on just first and foremost, just cracking. And now you're everywhere, cracking the conversation. People are starting to talk about you. And of course, necessarily with that comes a ton of hate. We're going to get into some of the questions that people have. And obviously, you've been an open book. You've said, I will answer anything, and we are going to do a true accounting. First, just want to ask you both. I think DeSantis's campaign has been a disaster. I am sure everybody had high hopes for his campaign when it initially got started off, when it kicked off. It was this glorious start. We kind of actually had some technical difficulties on Twitter, but everyone was holding their breath for this big matchup between Trump and DeSantis. And I would imagine that even they are really let down by what's actually transpired since. I've given my opinion already to my audience about why I think that is. I'd like to hear from both of you. Rogan, let's start with you. What did the DeSantis team get wrong, if you agree with that assessment?
I think it was failed from the start. And
you see what type of questions they're asking each other? I'm like, they're not just asking no typical easy type of questions. They're asking hard questions to make you really see what type of person Vermass is, and this is what I think was very interesting and I thought was very cool to break down and see.
As a Florida resident, as someone who has been here for both his campaigns, it is a not well kept secret that he is bad at campaigning. He just doesn't draw huge crowds. He's not the most personable. We love him as governor. Let me say that he's probably one of the best governors in American history in recent memory. However, he could not beat a agricultural commissioner named Adam Putnam. Back in 2018, he needed Trump's endorsement to do it. And then he almost lost. He barely snuck out a victory against Andrew Gillum, who's like a meth head, cheat on his family, who was found passed out with drugs in a orgy. I mean, so he has not beat very impressive people until recently. And he did it only with the help of Trump. And now he's trying to take on Trump, and in the worst possible time and in the worst possible way, by effectively aligning with the deep state and saying, this guy's getting indicted, vote for me, but the MAGA base sees through it. We know what time it is in this country. The deep state is on the attack, and we are not going to support people that support the deep state or cozy up with them. We want people who truly fight for we the people, and that's been Trump since day one.
Thank you so much. And I agree with that assessment 100%. Vivek, going to you, what do you think, if anything, again, that was my own assessment, that the DeSantis campaign got wrong?
Well, look, I think there's two things. I mean, one is, I'm going to draw from my business experience here, Candace. One of the things you see in any startup, and every campaign in some sense is a startup, the ones that start with often too much money before they've defined their product market fit. That's what you define it in the business world. Before you actually understand what your product even is. But if you start with loads of money, one of the things you see in startups that fail time and again, especially in the last 10 years with venture capital pouring in, is that those businesses actually are the ones that don't make it versus the ones that actually start scrappy. Don't start with too much money, but start with a clear product or a clear vision or a clear message in the case of a political campaign. And so I think in some sense, any campaign that is overburdened with like tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars of super PAC dollars flowing in before they've figured out what they even want to stand for. This is Jeb Bush. This is Scott Walker. So in some sense, this is not new. We're just seeing an old and repeated pattern where the establishment pours in gobs of money to somebody who they think is going to be the person they want them to be, when that person isn't yet even sure what their vision or message is. And so I think we saw that in 2015 and 2016. We see that again. We see it. It's analog in the business world all the time. And so that's basically what I...
Questions like this. He's in these papers. Now, when you get on that debating stage, oh my God, tomorrow's going to be a whole different... See, now that I've been reminded that tomorrow's the debate, these little segments right here seem like nothing to compare to what's about to happen when he get on stage up there with other people. So it makes me not even want to go into this assessment. I'm just keeping it real. Y'all want me to keep it real with you guys, you know what I'm saying? I think that's another thing that will draw people over to me, is me keeping it real. No, I don't have all the answers. I know some things I do have answers to. I want to help bring things together, bring them to life. What is this? An hour?
Recordings just got better. Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard. I'm so excited to announce.
Will you come talk about the Hawaii response, Mr. President?
Nothing there.
Several days later.
Some signs greeting the president were honest and tough. Quote, "You're late." Another, no comment, a reference to his initial answer to a question on the deaths of the people on that island. Some very angry, many of them at the pace, the slow pace of federal help.
A little too late. It's been 2 weeks since we've seen him.
That whole state should be read. That whole state should be read.
You know, he's missed his window of opportunity.
All right, guys. So we got to talk about Joe Biden finally showing up to Maui after a couple of vacations. Okay, because apparently it wasn't that big of a deal. He was on vacation when I think the incident first happened. Uh, he didn't have any time to comment because he was too busy, you know, bathing in the sun, okay, and being on vacation, which I mean, he's basically been on vacation ever since the guy took office, okay. No president has vacation more than Joe Biden at this point in his presidency. And then he also went on another vacation before finally starting to visit Maui, despite the fact that a lot of people are criticizing him for not showing up sooner and not speaking about the situation more, because you have residents there who had their towns burned to the ground because of a natural, or who knows, maybe not so natural disaster.
Out here, they've been here for hours. A bunch of them are protesting. They have their makeshift signs, cardboard signs, a lot of them saying, as we've been talking about, that he's too late. Some of them feel that he should have been here much earlier. Other signs that say actions speak louder than words. So hearing a lot from the people here, as well as Hawaiian flags.
Wow, he's finally here. Wow, yeah. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, thanks for nothing. Thanks for nothing. You.
Yeah. So again, these guys aren't really feeling Biden, okay, which is a big deal in a Democrat-run state. I mean,
Years ago, now 15 years ago, I was in Washington doing Meet the Press. It was a sunny Sunday. And lightning struck at home on a little lake.
That's crazy. Yeah, I thought he might have had something new, a little bit more updated than I just broke down earlier to you guys. That's I hate to bring y'all news like that, but man, that's really what's going on. Now, if I go to my little news channel, let's see what all this over here. Yep. Indictment. ABC's covering indictment. What's this? Juneteenth. Oh my God. Indictment. Every channel. But see, I wish my thing did play all the channels. I need a video where they play all the channels and all the news coverages so we can get it all. I need it all. Well, tomorrow's a big day, y'all. I had to share this news with y'all. We're going to tune in tomorrow. Don't worry. I'm going to have more to say. I have more to do. I have more to get into. It's nothing. It's what it's here. Y'all have a good day, good time, good evening, whenever time to reach this.